So, I've been relatively lazy. Just been hanging out in bed with my cat. I've been looking at Etsy. He's sick of me. He's like, go away. I've been looking at pet portraits. Just trying to think about how I can best sort of memorialize my dog. He passed away yesterday, so I've been pretty sad. It does wonders for a diet, though. I have to say, I've dropped some major pounds in the last couple days. So I guess there's that. I'm pretty sure I was planning on going outside and maybe working in flower beds and trying to put my energy there, but it rained. So that's not going to be good for digging purposes. So I'm just hanging out in the house, which is super quiet. Just definitely not the same vibe at all. It is close to 10 and I'm having my breakfast earlier, probably about 6 a.m. I had my keto coffee with 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream and 2 tablespoons of MCT oil. Now I'm gonna have 4 eggs, which I fried in a tablespoon of ghee and one of these Mikey's English muffins. Alright, and so following my breakfast closely is, I guess, a homemade Starbucks pink drink. I brewed up a cup of the Tazo Passion Tea, and then I added a couple of packets of stevia and a couple tablespoons of heavy whipping cream, and then put that over ice. Okay, so it's not a very traditional dinner, but I've made some spinach artichoke dip, which I'm going to dip with Flackers, and my husband's going to have just regular crackers with. Our weather has just turned crazy. It is pouring, and it's cooler in the street. I've never seen weather like this. Look at that. Our garage might flood. So, it's Friday, and Wednesday, my dog died. And so, just kind of wandering around my house like some sort of zombie, just because he's been part of my life so long, and I'm trying to figure out how to keep going and, I guess how to move into a new normal. And so one of the things that I happen to think about is that just a couple days before I subscribed to BarkBox for him. So I'm basically gonna cancel that, and that'll be kind of a new little milestone as well. So I'm gonna work on that, and I don't know, just keep plugging along. I wish I was one of those beautiful criers. You always see them in the movies, and they look pretty much just as gorgeous as they ever were. They don't get the snotty, runny, gross, puffy-eyed, red-cheeked nastiness that I get. So this is me, just kind of hanging out, and I just canceled Zeke's BarkBox and got that done. And here in just a little bit, I'm gonna go to the gym. And a friend of mine has said that she would go to the gym with me, and so I'm gonna go do that, and hopefully kind of getting my muscles moving and focusing on that will be helpful to my mood, and
helpful to my kind of emotional stuff. I'm also pretty sure that I'm gonna go. I had sort of weaned myself off of antidepressants, which I've always needed, and I'm kind of a jerk because rather than just staying on them, I start to feel better and then I get off of them, and I think technically probably I just need to be on them. It's kind of my own, self-stigma, I suppose. I feel like I shouldn't be on them, that a normal person's just able to cope with things on a daily basis. I'm a little worried about how getting back on those will affect my weight since I've been working on things. And so that's certainly something that I'm kind of thinking about, wondering about. I do think it's best right now, just from an operational standpoint. So that's kind of what's in my mind right now. Go back to work tomorrow, and quite honestly, I'm hoping that coworkers don't say a single thing, that nobody even acknowledges it, because I know that the moment that somebody mentions something, it's probably going to make me cry, and crying in public and in the workplace is pretty much the worst thing I can think of. Yeah, I've just been doing a lot of thinking about stuff, and just, I feel like losing an animal is one of those things that you're supposed to get over, and pretty quickly. I think most people are a kind of no nonsense about it. And maybe that stems from having other kind of more important responsibilities. So, like, my theory, and this is just a theory, is that, for instance, most people are more adult about handling it. And I think that comes from them, most of them have kids and they have to place their focus and have to, buck up and be responsible for another being that they're taking care of. And in my case, Zeke was my kid. I got him at 10 months old. We spent nearly 15 years together, and he was not my sole focus. I mean, obviously, I'm married. My husband is my focus, but he was definitely a huge part of my world. Huge. And then, of course, as he got older and had sort of senior kinds of needs, I became even more focused on him. And then in the last couple of months, as he began to kind of decline, of course, my focus was like super, laser focus, just on making sure he was comfortable, that his needs were being met. In the last 2 weeks before he died, every day was me trying to figure out how can I get him to eat. He wasn't showing interest in food. So I would try new things. I would buy new things. I would cook for him. And I think he just, I think he was eating things just for me. Kind of to, just for me, in all honesty. I don't think he was really hungry. He would try one thing, and then the next day I would go to try it, and he wouldn't eat that. So, yeah, just kind of wishing that I was at work today instead of it being a day off. Primarily just because it allows me to focus in too much on this stuff. So I'm hoping that once I get outside the house and go to the gym, that I'll just continue to kind of be outside the house. It's raining again today, so I won't be able to do any kind of yard work stuff that I had kind of hoped for. But yeah, I'm hoping that once I get up and showered and dressed, that I will maybe dream up some other things I need to do outside of the house, just so that I'm being productive and so that I'm not wallowing, because I feel like I want to wallow. And I'm hoping all this and all of this, I'm hoping that that will go away before I go to work, because I feel and look like somebody has punched me in the face. Weight loss wise, sadness, extreme sadness has been good for me. In the last week, I'm way down on the scale, so that's something. But anyway, I just wanted to come on and I guess update you guys, and I will talk to you later.
I just got back from the gym. You heard me right. About a week ago, I joined Planet Fitness, and this was actually my first time going. A friend of mine agreed to go with me, and so we did that, and now I'm back home and am having a Premier protein shake with mixed with basically a cup of black coffee, and I'm having that iced. And then over in my air fryer, I have a little tiny chicken that I'm roasting. So I'm thinking that we'll have that and maybe some mashed cauliflower for dinner, maybe some spinach. But yeah, that's where I'm at for right now. Felt really good to get my body moving. To be honest, I haven't exercised since I guess it's probably been about 2 weeks ago that I took Zeke out on our normal walk, and he couldn't go. He acted like he was okay, but then about halfway through he was really lagging. He was actually behind me, and I was thinking I was going to have to pick him up and carry him home. So that began kind of like the ultimate decline, and so yeah, that sort of made me not feel like walking. I never really liked to walk on my own anyway, to be honest, and exercising was always kind of a dynamic duo kind of a situation. So I'm gonna have to change that up, and hopefully the gym will allow me to do that. So anyway, just a little bit of an update. Look how beautiful this turned out. So pretty. Okay, you guys, so I made some fat bombs. I made them out of unsweetened baker's chocolate and unsweetened coconut, and then I added liquid stevia to them. So if you're interested, I can put the macros for the batch that I made. I cut them with a pizza cutter into 36 slices while they weren't quite frozen, and then froze them, and then I'm gonna stick them in a Ziploc baggie. But so I'll be enjoying those. And my final meal for the day, this is some chicken breast that I cut off of the chicken that I roasted earlier in the air fryer. So I'm gonna have this, and then I'm gonna call it good for the rest of the evening.